Okay, so here we have Gran Turismo Sport on the left side, and we have Project Cars 3 on the right. So basically what we are comparing today is what we know of so far in Gran Turismo 7, which is, for one, the graphics are pretty much the same as Gran Turismo Sport, so that's why I am using that as a graphic today. And then we have Project Cars 3 on the right side, and of course this is not my footage. Go check out Gamer Machine, that's where I got it from. Now, from there, basically what we know between these two games. So, what we know for number one is on Gran Turismo 7, their graphics are going to be the same. They are bringing back at least some of the original tracks that we have been wanting them to bring back, which is fantastic. While Project Cars 3 has a lot of hate going for it right now. So there's a lot of people really excited for GT7. A lot of people really hyped up for that game. There's a few people hyped up for Project Cars 3, but it looks like there's going to be a huge upset. So Project Cars 1 and 2 were really great games. It was really hard to drive in it. Like, even people who knew what they were doing even mentioned, to me anyways, that it just seems like in a lot of cases that your car slides off the track like if it's ice. That could be because of a few different things. That could have been just because you're not getting that full feeling of how fast that car is actually going. But I think it's just because they made you force tune the vehicle before you actually wanted to drive it, which was a pain. While with Project Cars 3, it seems like you could just pick it up and race. Pick it up and go. And they have an actual campaign mode this time. Last time, on Project Cars 1 and 2, they didn't have a real campaign mode where you would be able to go up against the AI and try to advance yourself through the game. All you got before was, here's every single car, have some races, have some fun. Now they're adding a great, what looks to be a great campaign mode, but the menus sort of look like they are from a mobile game, which leads me to believe that maybe they either got a couple of mobile game developers to develop the game, or they may be trying to transition the game onto a phone or mobile tablet. So that's what it seems like to me anyways. While with Gran Turismo 7, that is a PlayStation only title, PlayStation 5 only title, and the graphics are going to be great. The biggest difference in the graphics that we know on the Gran Turismo 7 side is that the reflections are going to be a lot better than what we see here in Gran Turismo Sport, while you are getting back your real campaign mode again, which is great. It just seemed like almost every single car sim racing category did not have a real campaign mode, which is great. Now, you may be hating on me saying, oh, Gran Turismo 7 is not a real sim. Well, neither is Project Cars 3. Project Cars 1 and 2 were pretty close to a real sim, while Project Cars 3 does not look like it. There's a lot of people who say, oh yeah, I took off all the supports, all the driver assists and all this other stuff, but in their racing, like what we see here on the right side, it really does not look like a sim racer. For one, in my opinion, a sim racer has to have good graphics. Now, that's not always the case. You're not always going to get great graphics, but what you are getting is something where the physics work really well. And that's something that Gran Turismo 7, in my opinion, has really done well. So, of course, there are a lot of people who say that Gran Turismo, the whole series, is not a real sim racer, and I can sort of agree with them. However, at the same time, the physics are actually quite realistic. These people who say that a sim racer you need to be sliding all over the place is not true at all. You want to have that car cemented to the ground if it's made to do that. If it's not made to do that, you want it to slide around a bit. And each car does feel different in this game. They don't all feel like carbon copies. And that's what somebody on YouTube has said about Project Cars 3 right now, is that they got some pre-beta testing thing and they said that all the cars seem to feel the same. And we can see from that graphic that we had playing earlier, when those cars accelerated, they were actually trying to make it artificially look like you're lengthening the racetrack. You don't have that artificial lengthening in Gran Turismo, and you're not going to get it in Gran Turismo 7 either. So who really wins this battle? Project Cars 3 or Gran Turismo 7? We technically will not know until both games are totally released. We will know how good Project Cars 3 is once it's out at the end of the month. And we're probably going to be waiting until the end of the year for Gran Turismo 7. It seems like every leak that's coming out is really solidifying my thought, which is it's going to be out by the end of the year. So yeah, these are my thoughts. So personally, I think Gran Turismo 7 is going to win. Project Cars 3 was not a big enough title. I know there was a big title, but I don't think it was a big enough title to have a game come out that really messed up like it has. It's more of an arcade game, at least from what we have seen so far online. I haven't driven the game yet, and I probably will not be racing in the game, and I probably will not be buying the game. Mainly for one reason, and that is for all the hate that I've been seeing online for Project Cars 3, there's not going to be a lot of people buying it. For how many people are talking about and wanting to see and cannot wait for Gran Turismo 7 to come out, I personally think that Gran Turismo 7 is going to outsell like crazy Project Cars. And yeah, if you really want a true sim racer, I would say probably lean towards Assetto Corsa or iRacing. But if you want something that is going to be not necessarily the easiest to drive, but the most realistic, that's not going to cost an arm and a leg for a massive setup, is Gran Turismo. All you need is a PlayStation 5, which is probably going to be in that $400, $500 range roughly. A wheel, which is what I'm using right now, is a Logitech G29. Most likely that's going to work. I did do a video about how they were mentioning that the PS4 wheels will work with the PS5, so most likely that's going to happen. And then you just need something to attach that wheel to, which right here I have a 43-inch cheap Insignia TV, about 2 feet from 3 feet, 2 feet from the steering wheel, maybe 4 feet, 3 feet from my face. So it basically looks almost VR. And then the other question is Project Cars 3 going to be in VR? Because I haven't heard all that much about that just yet. However, if it isn't in VR, that's another huge miss. Gran Turismo 7 sounds like it's going to be VR from what I've been hearing about leaks and things like that. And the PlayStation VR headset will work with the PS5, so if you already have one of those. And if Gran Turismo 7 is VR for sure, I may just be going out and getting the headset, because I think it would be quite cool to be able to have VR footage instead of just this footage that we see right now. Well, anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. I hope that I haven't made you fall asleep just yet. If I have, comment below and say, "Damn man, you talk way too long." And I guess I'll see you guys again in my next video. So have a great day, hit that like button, and subscribe.